My name is Carol. Thank you for joining me today. It's a beautiful sunny day in Arizona, so I thought I would take the opportunity to get out into the land a little bit. So what I wanted to address today is the video that I uploaded yesterday, the message that I received. The reason I want to address it is because after I watched it later that evening, I felt uncomfortable with it. So I looked at myself to try and figure out what it was that I felt uncomfortable about it with. And what I came up with is that it's just not really who I am, meaning that I get messages and I share it with all of you. I share any of the messages I get, any of the stuff that I've learned. I share it with you, but I'm not that person who reads the channeled message to you. It just, when I watched the video, it just felt really awkward to me. So I have decided that in the future, if and when I get those messages, that I will tell you that I've received a message and then just give you my interpretation of it. So if anybody would like me to continue reading the messages, please comment below and let me know, because otherwise I'm not going to do any more of that reading. It just doesn't feel like me. So with that said, I want to address what that message was about. So essentially what they were trying to say is that there are so many people that are wondering why they're here and what they're supposed to be doing. What is my role in all of this? Why was I born into these times? Because almost all of us feel a calling towards this path, and we feel like there's something important that we're supposed to do. And so because of the way our human mindset works, we're looking for a specific job title. And while that specific job title might exist for each and every one of us, that's not why we're here. We're here to do all of those things. So this whole awakening process and the ascension, etc., and the fifth dimensional energy coming in, and the new earth paradigm, etc., it's not about creating something that we take with us or leaving this planet to go somewhere else. Though, as I understand it, some people do have that opportunity. So what we're here to do, as was said and spoken in the message, is that we're here to bring the higher frequencies in and to anchor them here on this earth. And from my perspective and my experience, my job here is multifold, and the main emphasis being on bringing information through and helping the energies to anchor. But even more importantly than that, my job is to help people understand what's going on and to see the logical, practical reality of it, because people are looking at it like it's some kind of woo-woo thing, like it's some kind of extraterrestrial, interdimensional, miraculous sort of thing that's going to happen, or that is happening. And though it is miraculous and we are receiving assistance from other dimensions and other beings, it is practical, and it makes sense. It's logical. I mean, if you ask me, and I can go into detail why it makes sense to me and why I think it's logical, but I don't want to get into that at this time. So the thing is that we're supposed to help everybody else because we've gone through so much, those of us who have awakened and endured so much. We know the reality of it. We know what we experienced, and we know that what we experienced is not a lie. We know that it's the truth. And we know that it's more than possible to go through our awakening process and to begin the ascension process and still live our lives here on earth. So it's not about throwing all of that away or giving it up, you know, our humanity and our ability to enjoy all that this earth has to offer. It's not about giving that up or throwing it away. It's about bringing this new energy and grounding it into this earth and help the rest of the population understand that it's possible, it's doable, that we did it and they can do it, and we'll help them do it. We'll help them understand what's going on and what they're going through. So that's what we're here to do. So if you're looking for your specific job title, I recommend that you start just by doing that, just by living your truth every day as much as you can. Live your truth. And as you do that, everything else will start to fall into place and it'll start to open up. And little signs will appear about where, in order to give you guidance and direction as to what you should be doing next, or where you're going to be more helpful or most helpful. But that's not going to happen, or it's going to be more difficult for it to happen if you're looking for one job title, because we're multidimensional beings and we have many things to do here on this earth planet. So that's my little 2 cents on that. If you have any questions on that, you can comment below and I'll do my best to answer them. The other thing that I wanted to address is that with this new energy that has come in, and it's a much higher frequency, which is what threw a lot of people for a loop this past month. And it is lightening up now, thank goodness. Anyway, what I wanted to say about that is that because it is so high, because the energy is so high, it's very easy to manifest. So one of the things that the message said yesterday was about not giving the negative energy, the chaos and the confusion or the fear, anger, irritation, not giving any attention to the negative energies that are around you or that might be trying to come in. And I know for myself personally, they really targeted me. They really tried to push my buttons and get me to lose it. I did a lot of praying this past month. Anyway, what they said in the message is not to give the negative energies any attention, because it will become the energy of intention, which is a creative energy. So whatever it takes for you not to get pulled into that, then that's where your focus should be. I mean, do not give it any attention at all. And when they mentioned turning it off or drowning it out, I think that there's a good chance, there's at least a possibility that those terms came up because they were plucked out of my little mindset, my subconscious, my mentality. And because what I do for that sort of thing is, if I can't turn it off, if I can't say enough, I don't want to hear any more of this, and it just stops, it turns off, then what I do is I watch television or I listen to music. And I do that because that is the way that I can get my mind off of it and not fall into it. So there are other ways of getting yourself not to pay attention to that negative energy, playing with your animals, doing whatever work it is that you have to do. Certainly if you have a job where you have to focus a little bit more, then it's less likely that negative energy is going to get a hold of your attention because you're already focused on something else. So then it just becomes a matter of, when you're not focused on that, how do you get rid of that energy? So another thing is showers or baths. And if you do a bath, candlelight and incense is really good to use at the same time that you're bathing. And the reason why that is because water is so cleansing and purifying, and it helps to move the energy around us and inside of us. So you can do that and just do a little mantra while you're showering or bathing, and remove those energies that way. My way of doing that, if I'm in water, if I'm in the shower, is I simply go into gratitude. And the moment that I go into gratitude and start the saying, and it's easy for me to do when I'm in the shower because I love hot water. So the moment I start saying, thank you, God, for hot water, all of me goes into gratitude. And it's much, much easier to get rid of the negative energy when you're in gratitude. So there you go. That's what I would recommend. If you don't want to use your mind, then to get away from that energy, then turn up the music or turn on the TV. If you're okay with using your mind, then go into a space of gratitude, because that it not only shuts that energy off, that negative energy, but it also helps to create more of what you're grateful for. So certainly the best way to deal with that negative energy is to put yourself in a space of gratitude. So that's the gist of it. I just wanted to say that I'm uncomfortable with reading channeled messages. I'm much more comfortable with just telling you what I understand from those messages. And then I wanted to say that if you're looking for a specific job title for the reason that you're here, and you're feeling frustrated because after all this time of being awake, you still don't know what it is that you're supposed to do, then you can help yourself through that by looking at yourself as being somebody who is here to assist everyone, everywhere, and everything, everywhere. Just to be that conduit and to help people understand that it's okay, that we're going to make it through this. And you're going to find more and more people. When I started my awakening process, there was only a handful of people that understood any of the terminology. So it was a very lonely place at that time. But nowadays, so many more people are in tune with the new energies that are coming in, and that something is actually happening here on our planet. And more people are becoming curious about it. So, do a Facebook page, do your own YouTube channel, put some flyers up if you want to, hold a little coffee clutch and share your information with the people. I know when I first, I shouldn't say when I first started my awakening, but very shortly into my awakening, the James Redfield books were popular, and people were very curious about them. So I held a little book club, and a group of friends and I got together and we talked about the Celestine prophecy and what our minds and our bodies were capable of. So there's another, possibility there. There are so many awesome, wonderful books out there right now that touch on what is happening to us and to our earth. And people are becoming more and more curious. So you can help them to understand. And I'll tell you what else happens is, as you are helping people to understand what's going on, that energy surrounds you and it fills you up, and it starts to lift you up. And you start to become more aware, and you start to understand more about yourself and the path that you're on and what you're here to do. But that doesn't happen unless you put your foot forward and do something yourself. I can see my face is going in the shadows here. I apologize. Anyway, so I wanted to touch on those things there and tell you how I dealt with it and how I do still deal with it. I have made I've had a lot of epiphanies and had a lot of breakthroughs, but I'm human being just like all the rest of you, and I go through my moments, and I have to deal with it all just like you do. And I have had my moments when I've been frustrated and weary and said, yeah, I can't do this anymore. Please, God, help me. And when I've done that, I've always received the help. I've always received the help. So anyhow, I love you all. And any questions, please comment below. And I'll do another video again soon. All right. Love you. Bye.